I want to ask you to pull up a chair, not next to me, in my mind. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to sit inside someone's mind with ADHD. Not observe it, not analyze it, experience it. If you could sit inside my mind even for a few minutes, the first thing you would notice is there is no quiet. Most people describe their thoughts like a soft background soundtrack, steady, manageable. For me, it's more like standing in the middle of Times Square. Lights flashing, horns blasting, people moving in every direction, almost bumping into each other. And inside all of that chaos, ideas are firing constantly, one thought racing after another like a race car with no brakes. Everything is happening at once. Let me show you what I mean. This morning, I was making my bed. Halfway through, I walk into the kitchen. Why am I in here? I notice the dishes in the sink. Start doing the dishes. Did I respond to that email? Oh, I need a suit for Saturday. And suddenly, I'm standing in the middle of my closet trying on clothes. And the bed is still unmade. But it doesn't end there, because right alongside all of that, worry creeps in. Soft, but relentless. Do you think you're ready for that presentation? What if you say a word incorrectly? I don't choose which thoughts appear. I can't slow them down. They arrive fully formed, already urgent, already demanding my attention. This is what ADHD feels like from the inside. I'm 45 years old. I was diagnosed with ADHD at 43. And the moment I received that diagnosis, my entire life finally made sense. Every classroom struggle, every label, every award I won while secretly wondering why it never felt like enough, all of it finally had a name. And what I know now that I wish I knew back then, God does not make mistakes. But I'm getting a little ahead of myself because sometimes in the middle of all of that, a memory shows up. I'm sitting in a classroom, test is on my desk. The teacher says, "You have 30 minutes to complete it." But I'm just staring at the page. I don't know where to begin. The letters are backward. The words don't make sense. I look up. Pencils moving, pages filling. Everyone is going somewhere I can't seem to go. But my mind has left the test. It's at home, playing out everything that happens when I walk through that door with a failing grade. I know the look. I know the silence before it happens. I know what's coming. So I lean over and copy a few answers off of the paper next to me. But before I could finish, the bell rings. And the panic doesn't leave with the bell, it walks home with me. And I already know how this story ends. It ends with a beating. There were many nights as a child that I wished I was no longer here. I didn't have the language for what I was feeling. I just knew I was tired of being wrong. No one pulled up a chair for me back then. No one sat with me in my struggle. No one tried to understand what was happening inside my mind. The teachers called it laziness. My family called it defiance. Nobody called it what it actually was. What I didn't know, what most people back then didn't understand, is everything I was experiencing had a name. My brain was wired differently. And the world I was growing up in didn't know what to do with that. For decades, ADHD was studied exclusively in boys. So while boys who couldn't sit still got diagnosed and supported, girls like me, whose hyperactivity lived entirely inside our minds, got overlooked. We weren't hyperactive on the outside. We were hyperactive in here. So instead of someone pulling up a chair to try and understand, they labeled us as anxious, oversensitive, difficult. Girls like me learn to mask it, to perform, to achieve so loudly that no one will look close enough to see what was underneath. In my junior year of high school, my grandmother, a teacher, sat and watched me do homework one day and noticed something wasn't adding up. The school made accommodations, but not an IEP where you remain in the classroom and receive extra help. But my English and math classes were in the special education section of the school. I'm 16, and I've already carried years of shame for feeling that I just could not take another label. So I skipped those classes every single day. My senior year, I couldn't walk across the stage with everyone else. And I told myself that I hated school and I would never go to college. The truth was, I love to learn. I was just tired of trying so hard and still falling short. I wish the world had tools for what my brain needed back then. But I'm a mom now to a brilliant student who makes me proud every single day. But when he was 6, he was diagnosed with ADHD. I remember sitting in that room, looking at him, seeing the honest confusion in his eyes, the big emotions he didn't have the language for, the struggle to sit still in a world that kept asking him to. I recognized everything. All of the patterns no one saw in me. But he would not carry what I carried. Not the silence, not the shame. So I pulled up a chair. And somewhere in the middle of fighting for him, I started to find answers for myself. And for the first time in my life, something inside of me exhaled. I remember sitting in that session with my therapist, and all I could do was cry. Not because I was broken, but because I finally understood I never was. 43 years of wondering what was wrong with me. 43 years of fighting a system that was never built for me. 43 years of achieving and still feeling like I wasn't doing enough. Sometimes ADHD can feel like a gift and a curse. The curse is real. I won't pretend it's not. The racing thoughts, the starting strong but struggling to finish or not finishing at all. But right next to that struggle comes just one of the gifts. Most people can decide to focus. I can't summon focus. It just shows up. Usually when it's something that I love or something that I'm passionate about. And when it arrives, that one thing steps forward, not louder, just clearer. The noise doesn't stop in my head. It just moves to the edges. And that one thing moves into focus. Steady, defined, undeniable. Hours pass like minutes. The world keeps moving, but I don't notice. This is called hyperfocus. And for a mind like mine, it is the closest thing to a superpower I have ever felt. The same brain that people once thought was broken built an award-winning design firm from nothing. During a depression, a layoff, and a global pandemic. That same brain went on to design Governor Westmore's inauguration in Baltimore, the 4th of July celebration for the U.S. Embassy in Israel, over 50 installations for the city of Boston, That same brain was named one of the top designers in the United States. The same brain that couldn't walk across the graduation stage with her class is now being celebrated on stages across the country. And you can be two things at once: broken and brilliant, exhausted and extraordinary, struggling and powerful. And those are not contradictions. That's by design. For 7 years, Give a TED Talk lived on my vision board. 7 years every morning walking past it, wondering if a woman who still sometimes forgets her words deserved to stand on this stage. Well, here I am. I'm still on this journey, still unlearning, still unmasking, still finding the right tools that work for my brain, and that's okay. So if you are sitting here with a mind like mine, hear this. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not too much. Your brain was wired for something that this world just hasn't made space for yet. And that's okay. Take up space anyway. And if you are sitting here and you love someone with a mind like mine, I know it's not always easy. Trust me, I live it. But I want to ask you to try not to tame their brain. Pull up a chair. See their storms. But more importantly, see their brilliance. Because if you truly sit in a mind like mine, you won't walk away calling it broken. You'll walk away calling it divine. Thank you.